Hi.
Hello.
How do?
How do indeed.
How do?
Welcome to Talking with Kitties. I am girlfriend,
I am boyfriend.
and this is our podcast. There are currently no kitties with us.
Bubs is on the steps right there.
Okay, so we have a cat glaring at us because he was taking a lovely nap, and you, sir, came and ruined everything.
No.
It's true. It's true.
No.
Let me set the scene for the listener.
The scene is to be set.
It's a lazy Sunday afternoon. All is quiet in the house.
Because boyfriend is upstairs fucking with shit.
Boyfriend is upstairs fucking with shit with his streaming stuff.
Stiff.
There is a very comfortable couch in the living room. Very cozy. And there is a girlfriend on said couch, wrapped up in a blankie, almost asleep. And right down from her, there's a very cozy Bubs, sound asleep. And to the other side of the girlfriend, there's a very sleepy little gizzard on her blankie, sound asleep.
I walk into the room.
Singing random songs about pusser.
That doesn't sound right. I walk into the room, look around, and get 3 very guilty looks. Uh-oh. We've been caught.
We were cozy. Thank you very much. He sat there making us all feel guilty because he was like... because I told him after he was done, we would come down and record the podcast. Had no intention of napping.
Had no intention of actually recording the podcast, you mean?
No, that's not true. I had every intention to record the podcast, but not being so sleepy and cozy and napified.
Not having to get up from the couch to do it.
Exactly. Maybe we should figure out how to move all of this stuff upstairs.
I mean, we could.
So I can cuddle on the couch and just hold the microphone.
I think we have had this discussion about how to do that from the moment we started.
Yeah, and we still haven't done it, and I don't know why. We come down here where it's kind of chilly, kind of dark, kind of dreary. Who are you smiling at?
Both of them. We got both of the boys on the steps.
Aw.
Finn's up at the top.
Is Finn hanging?
No, well, a little bit, but he's hanging, checking out fishes.
He is so cute with those fish.
The fishes aren't out, though. Big one's out over there, but he's not looking. He's looking at this one.
He doesn't care. It doesn't seem about the big tank. He likes the little
he likes
tank
the little
better.
guys. He doesn't like the big. Well, I mean, that Oscar's almost as big as he is.
That's true.
A little scary. Bubs is yawning because he's tired, as usual.
Obviously, we just set the scene of a perfect nap scenario that you ruined.
That's what I do. I ruin things. You know this.
It's true. So, we can discuss some drama that's been going on about our podcast.
Drama. Do I know about this?
You do.
Okay.
It's not really drama. I'm making it sound worse than it is.
Drama llama.
Drama llama. Hey, Buffs.
Llama spit.
That's drama right there.
Boom.
We have 2 listeners.
2.
Dose.
Well, we have more than 2 listeners.
Oh, yeah. Yes. But you didn't. Sorry, I was starting and then Bubs wanted head scritches and I have to stop what I'm doing to give him head scritches.
He's like, why are you guys on this side of the basement now? This is weird.
He's confused. We did switch over. Anyway, 2 of our listeners, Andrew and Becca, one has been asked to be on the podcast. One has offered themselves to be put on the podcast. I may have mentioned to her, though, that she could be on the podcast prior to. Now, Andrew is coming home to visit in a month.
Yes.
And Aaron has already talked to him about him being on the podcast. He's excited. He wants to do it. The other day, Becca messaged me and was like, I've listened to every single podcast and you guys are really funny and you talk about me an awful lot, so I should be on the podcast. And I told her that she could be, but that Andrew's going to be the first guest because he's the special guest. I don't know if I guess I'm telling you when it's not going to be a surprise.
Surprise. Oh. In like a month, maybe.
Did you want it to be a surprise?
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I was going to say we can cut this out if you want.
Yeah. First we have to actually lock him down with a microphone because you know him.
So Andrew's probably not going to be on the podcast.
Whenever he comes back, he gets torn in 20 different directions.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Not to mention, he's my brother. Becca really should technically be the first one on the podcast because Becca actually listens to it, whereas Andrew says, oh yeah, I know you have a podcast.
Oh yeah, I need to catch up on that.
I need to catch up on that.
Yeah.
Has he even really listened to a full episode?
I don't know.
Not that it matters, but it kind of does if you're going to be on the podcast.
Hey guys, I'm really excited to be on this podcast I've never listened to.
That I've never listened to and have no idea what's going on. We should test him when he comes and be like, all right, you have to do the handshake for the podcast or something.
Yes.
Like you have to sing the podcast theme song.
Yes.
And he'll be like, what?
Yes.
And if he's listened, he knows there isn't one.
I mean, there's a theme song, but it just changes every time.
Well, yes, but...
Fun fact, it's the same song every time.
What?
It's the exact same chord progression every time, just different instruments.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that.
Technically is the same theme song, but just sounds different.
You're so clever. So it was my job this week to come up with what to talk about,
which means we have nothing to talk about.
which means I got nothing.
Nothing. She had a nap. We talked about the nap. She said this morning, so there was a couple things I wanted to change in my streaming setup. And her way to get me the fuck out of the room and stop annoying her was to be like, why don't you go upstairs and you start working on getting everything changed and set up that you want? And I'll stay down here and I will sincerely, she said, sincerely come up with an idea for something to talk about on the podcast. All right, this is your test. I'll go do that. I went upstairs.
I took a nap.
I spent about an hour not prepping, but changing all the things I wanted to in my streaming setup. Come back downstairs, and she set the scene for whenever I came back downstairs.
Okay, in my defense.
And her idea that she had come up with was to eat snacks.
It was a really good idea.
That was her podcast idea.
No.
To eat snacks.
Hear me out. The podcast idea was I was going to turn my back toward him, and I was going to have different snacks laid out in front of me, and I was going to eat a snack. And he had to guess what snack I was eating. Kind of a little bit ASMR, kind of a little bit mukbang, whatever they call it. Kind of a little bit delicious.
What is mukbang?
It's mukbang, I don't know how, mukbang, I don't know how to pronounce it.
You're making up words.
No, I'm not. It's actually a thing.
Nope.
It's like on YouTube, what they do, they get a whole ton of food and then they just sit and they eat and then like they talk to the camera. So it's like trying different foods and eating it in front of the camera.
Oh, okay. So at first you said talking about it. At first I thought it was just an ASMR type of thing.
No.
It's just the opposite of what you're supposed to do is they just fill their mouth and don't talk with a mouthful of food.
Yeah.
It's not that.
No.
Okay. We should do that though. Just fill our mouths with food and just no. You want to talk about the snacks?
Snacks are delicious.
They are, but no. That was her idea, anyways.
It was a great idea, and I'm sticking to it that it was a phenomenal idea.
Mm-hmm. So let us know if you want to hear us eat snacks on a podcast.
No, not us, me.
So let us know if you want to hear her eat snacks on a podcast.
Yeah, you weren't involved in the eating.
Yeah.
You were involved in the guessing. I'll tell you what. If you guess correctly,
I get to eat a snack.
you get one of the snacks.
Okay, you get to have a snack now because you got it right. Here's your little snacky snack.
It's a good idea.
Is it?
Yes, I came up with it. Sincerely.
Sincerely. You did say sincerely. She did say sincerely. I will sincerely lay here. You should have just said you'll lay there and try to dream up a new idea because then...
I did. I dreamt about snacks.
Yeah, but I'm saying you should have said that.
Well...
I'll stay here and try to dream up an idea. Then when I came down here now, I'd be like, oh, she's trying to dream up an idea. And I just would have continued on with my life.
I didn't have any intention of napping when you left.
Why are you getting Italian?
I don't know.
She's doing the finger pinch flail thing. I had to know it. Attention. Intention. I had to know what intention of taking the nap.
But now I want the spaghetti.
I get the spaghetti. We needed the spaghetti. You know the hand gesture. You know it. You know what we're doing. The pinchy pinch. The
pinchy pinch.
The pinchy pinch. Yeah.
So, because we don't have any ideas,
we're going to pinch kitties.
I had a couple really, really wonderful, delightful ideas recently, and you have said no to all of them.
Like what?
I was going to interview the kitties.
Yes. Okay, so her ideas were eat snacks. I thought we were both eating snacks, like taking turns, but she was just going to eat snacks in the podcast, and then she was going to interview the kitties, but it was going to be me making the kitty voices.
Wait, you make the kitty noises?
No, that's what you said you wanted to do. It was going to be me,
No, but that's the kitties talk to me. Hi, Bubs.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I do like to get my butt. No, don't touch my butt. Yep.
So that's what happens a lot in this house. I'll talk to the cats and he will have them speak to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it doesn't happen. They're actually talking to me.
Cats don't talk.
What?
What?
They just heard him talking to me.
Oh, cats don't talk.
I'm so confused. Anyway. So I was going to interview each of the cats and he didn't like that idea either.
Bub! Control the tail, sir. Good Lord. He has no control over this tail.
He does not.
None. And never has. He has no idea how big he is.
Nope. I think he still thinks he's a kitten.
He is a kitten in a lot of ways, except that he's a grumpy old man. Why are you... Go lay on the couch like you always do.
He wants attention. Oh. See? Oh, Bubba. You're such a good boy.
Is he?
That was Bubs, everybody.
Do you have a new project or TV show that you want to plug? Tell everybody about the new movie that you're in?
I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, no.
Mission Incredible. He woke us up with some lovely barfing this morning. It was great.
Oh, it was delightful.
He has an early warning signal for his barfing, which is kind of nice, but
And it's so loud. I literally thought he was laying in bed with us. Hi, Finn.
got both of the boys down here, huh?
Hi. What you doing?
Hey, Finn, you want to walk through here and bounce your tail off the microphone stand too?
No, he doesn't. He's good.
That's why Finn's my favorite.
Get your phone out. Let's do Ask Reddit. Or Am I the Asshole?
We could try Am I the Asshole for
Okay.
a train.
Yes.
Oh, I think I broke it. Are you looking for Am I the Asshole? Yeah, I am. Am I the asshole for kicking out my 24 female? She is a 24 female. He is a 32 male. Is she the asshole for kicking out her boyfriend after he pissed in her bed twice?
Was it on purpose?
He came over last night after he'd been drinking, was clearly drunk, but didn't seem any drunker than any other night out he's been on. I woke up maybe an hour after we go to bed to find myself in a puddle of his piss. I wake him up and tell him he's peed the bed, and I guess he was still asleep or confused as he didn't acknowledge it for a few minutes, and then just said, well, what do you want me to do about it? Maybe clean it up. I change the sheets and he flips the mattress. We go back to sleep and I once again wake up to find him tinkling on my leg. At this point, I'm very pissed off. I'm so tired and now both sides of my mattress are covered in pee and 2 loads of my bed covers. He again doesn't really say much and it's just like, it's done now. What do you want me to do about it? I'm very upset at this point and he starts asking why I'm so mad. That he's sorry and embarrassed, but that's it. Dude, clean it up.
Yeah, I feel like if he would have just taken, like, yes, I'm sure he's embarrassed and I'm sure that feels bad about it because that would be super embarrassing. Don't act like, oh, well, we'll just sleep in it. Like, apologize, clean it up, and be done with it.
Anyway, I changed my bedding again, and now I basically tell him he can't do it again. He says he can't promise it, so I tell him to go home. He offered to come back and help me clean today, but honestly, I just don't want him over. By the way, this has never happened before with me, and I asked him, and he said it happens rarely to him, but it does happen. Update, he's buying me a new mattress and getting the other one picked up. He's booked an appointment with the GP this week. Well, that's good.
Good, that's what I was going to say. If that happens, even rarely, there's obviously something.
Yeah, there's something behind that.
There's something behind that, and he needed to go to a doctor. So,
yeah, or a meeting.
I mean,
or the other.
I don't think that that's like breakup worthy.
I mean, it depends on how long into the relationship they are, too.
Well, that's true.
If this is, what did it say? It didn't say how long they had been together. If it was like she was just finding out about this or what. If they'd been together for a few years and something came up, then you should definitely, I think you'd be more concerned. But yeah, still, I mean, wait, what do you want me to do about it? Well, not sleep in it.
Yeah, I'd like you to help me at least clean it because you literally just piddled.
Yeah, you literally just peed.
Piddled. I'm like, you piddled.
You pedaled in the bed.
You piddled.
You pedaled in the bed. So yeah, are you going to, I can't guarantee I'm not going to pee in our bed. That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, you can't though.
You can't.
So that's kind of truthful. Like
Yeah.
he can't promise that Am I the asshole for not canceling my plans after my boyfriend learned about his diagnosis?
What's his diagnosis?
Should we make based on the statement, should we make a predetermined judgment?
I'm going to say you are an asshole.
I'm going to say you're an asshole too. I, 25 female, work in event planning, so I always get invites or tickets to go to high-end events. There was a huge event coming up that I was really excited to go to. I asked my boyfriend, 27, 3 days before the event to accompany me, and he said yes. So originally, the plan was my boyfriend, my stepsister, and myself. On the day of the event, he said he had a doctor's appointment, so he wasn't sure if he could still attend. I said, no problem, and then I waited for him to return home. A couple hours later, he texted me to say that he had something to tell me. I got worried and called him immediately. I asked if everything was okay, and he said he was diagnosed with anemia, so he'll have to take supplements. I expressed how sorry I was, spoke to him for about 2 hours, gave him pep talks, told him that I'm here if he needs me, reassured him that I will always love him, etc. Then I asked if he would still like to attend the event with me to take his mind off of the things, which he responded that he doesn't like the artists performing, so he'd rather go to another event. I said, no problem, I'll go with my stepsister alone. He got upset and hung up. I called him back, but he started an argument about how I'm selfish for going out while he's going through something. I told him that I already made the plans with my stepsister, and I wouldn't back out, and she's depending on me. I also don't drink, so I would have been the sober driver, and if I didn't go, she couldn't drink. I told him that this event is the only event my sister really wanted to attend, and I promised her that I would take her months prior. I even told him I'll see him the next day, and he said be safe and hung up. I got to the event around 11. Spent the entire event alone, just sitting down and watching the show by myself, having food and drinks. When I returned home around 2 a.m., I called him and he was awake playing video games. His first words were, "Look who cares about me again." I said, "I'm too tired for this." And he responded by saying that of course I'm tired. I went out without him, knowing he's upset, but I love partying and meeting new people so much that I didn't think to stay with him on the phone. I told him he's being ridiculous, so I would have stayed if there were just us who had planned on going. He said my priorities are off and I'm an ignorant asshole. Keep in mind I don't attend parties unless it's with my family and I only attend events a few times a year. Am I the asshole for not staying on the phone with him and attending the event instead?
So wait, she had the plan to go with her stepsister or sister?
Yes, she had planned over a month in advance to go with her sister, and then 3 days before she invited her boyfriend to go as well.
And then she went to the event and sat by herself, it said?
Yeah, it sounds like the sister, like she didn't go by herself. I'm guessing she took her sister, but her sister was out partying. And she probably kind of felt like, So she just sort of sat and waited because she was the designated driver. So she wasn't like partying because she had to drive her sister home.
That's a sticky widget.
See, I don't think it's sticky at all.
You think she's the asshole still?
No, not even a little bit. I think he's being a douchebag.
Oh. I mean, being diagnosed with anemia isn't awesome, but it's also
not awesome,
like
but
cancer.
it's not life-threatening. Like you can survive. Not to mention,
he's gonna have to take supplements.
The part that pisses me off the most, I think. She asked him if he wanted to go still, and he said, "Well, I don't really like the artists that are going to be performing. I'd rather go to another event." It's not even that he was so depressed or so worried about himself that he like needed time to process. He just decided he didn't want to go to that event.
Yeah, he's being.
I mean, if it really had affected him and he was like scared and sad and needed to like process and have somebody there with him, then she would be an asshole.
Yeah, but
at this point,
he put all
and then he was just up playing video games all day. Which maybe that's how you would cope.
Yeah.
I feel like they would have had better if he would have had better communication and been like, look, rather than just being like, well, I don't like the artist, I'd rather go somewhere else. If he was like, look, I could really just use you here with me now, or something.
That's part of the whole toxic masculinity thing.
Yeah,
too.
but I'm still gonna say he's an asshole.
Oh, yeah.
She is not.
I'm still gonna stick with it's a bit of a sticky widget, but he's being a baby about it.
So are you gonna say they're both assholes?
No, he's being more of an asshole, I think.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole.
She tried.
She did try.
Yeah.
And she already had plans with her sister for over a month. Like I said, if it was something like really, truly serious, what could she do for him after he found out the diagnosis for like 3 hours while she was out?
Yeah, the top comment sums it up. When I saw the title, I expected it to be cancer, some kind of degenerative disorder, or something requiring major surgery. Anemia is generally a completely treatable condition that has no impact on quality of life, and unless a doctor referenced a concern about a more serious condition, it's reasonable to assume that supplements are all that's needed at this point.
Exactly.
It sounds more like he's using it as an excuse to get out of something he didn't want to do than taking it a step further to try to manipulate you. Yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah.
That explains what I was trying to sum up perfectly. Fuck him. He's an asshole.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife to wash the dishes properly?
Oh, wait. Because I like that we guess first.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife? Depends how she washes the dishes.
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
I can't stand when you go to get like a clean, and sometimes it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you put them in the dishwasher, it doesn't completely clean them, whatever. But I'm going to say not the asshole.
You're going to say not the
and
asshole?
When you first immediately read it, my first initial response was, you son of a bitch, you're the asshole. But then really thinking about it, I'm going to say not the asshole.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
It
says on there.
I'm going to switch it up. It says on what? What?
My other one told me if they were the asshole or not.
Oh, no, this one doesn't do that.
But I didn't guess, and I still guessed asshole.
You're going to say not the asshole?
I'm saying not the asshole.
I'm going to say the asshole, and then we're going to fight it out.
Okay.
My wife is so neglectful when it comes to chores and does a half-assed job. Today was the third time this week I found a glob of residue on my plate, and I lost it. I grabbed the plate and brought my wife over to the sink and demonstrated to her how to properly scrub the entire plate. And she just zoned off and stared into space. I told her to stop being disrespectful and watch my demonstration because she clearly doesn't understand how to wash the dishes properly. Or maybe now that I think about it, she is just pretending to be incompetent at it. She started crying when I said this and told me to leave her alone, and she ran into the bathroom. Now I feel bad for making her cry. But I am sick of her not doing a proper job. Am I the asshole?
Oh my God, you are such a fucking douchebag. I hate you, you son of a bitch. Wife, run away. She's obviously going through something.
So you're changing
Oh my God, am I changing? Oh my, like that, like blood is boiling.
There's a giant edit.
Okay.
So most people are making giant, all caps, assumptions about the distribution of labor in our relationship. I do the dishes and all other chores half the time, and I do a proper job without being reminded beforehand.
He's a stuck-up son of a bitch.
Sure is. I wonder if he's one of those guys that just wants praise for every little thing he does.
It's 100% what it sounds like.
Meanwhile, my wife has to be constantly reminded and begged to do her turn of chores, whether that be dishes or mopping, and she whines and complains when I remind her to do it. And will do a half-assed job and rush through so she can get back to whatever else she was doing.
I wonder if they have kids. I wonder if what she's doing is taking care of their
I
children.
don't know. I take my household responsibilities seriously because I respect the value of living in a clean home.
Then you fucking do them.
While my wife acts incompetent at doing chores to get out of doing them or because she doesn't feel like it. Also, I told her the first 2 times this week when she left dirty plates, I asked if she would be more thorough while cleaning the dishes because it's gross to find residue on them.
I agree.
She just rolled her eyes and said, yeah, and blew me off. Now there's a second edit.
Okay.
Now people are telling me to just let her do different chores, but y'all
Wow,
don't
that's
understand this is her attitude towards all household responsibilities. Her laziness for chores isn't just when it comes to dishes. She does all the laundry under the same settings because it's too hard to remember which settings to use for each type of clothing when I literally made a list guide for her so she could remember each type. When it comes to vacuuming, she tries to finish as fast as she can so the rooms are left with giant patches and streaks of dust. It's her overall attitude of neglect that is bothering me because she expects me to do a proper job when it's my turn so she knows she can get away with acting incompetent. All I know, she's not incompetent at doing these chores because whenever we have guests that she cares about coming over, she'll somehow muster up the energy and knowledge to properly clean stuff and take cleaning seriously. God damn it, Bubs.
Okay.
There's a lot more behind this.
So, yeah, after my initial frustration, I have a feeling. I'm not a doctor. I can't make, assumptions like this, but I'm going to because it's our podcast and that's what we're doing. I think she has depression.
Maybe.
Or she has something going on deep down that or maybe she just
doesn't care that
maybe
much.
she just isn't a good housekeeper. Maybe she never really cared. In which case, he probably knew that going into the relationship.
He might have, unless you hit it a whole lot. He didn't. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot behind this one.
Yeah. I'm going to say they're both assholes.
Yeah.
I think they need to have a conversation.
There definitely needs to be a conversation. There needs to be more communication.
And I really think that because it doesn't sound like they communicate at all. It sounds like he barks orders at her and she rolls her eyes and gets upset.
Yeah, there's
That's
a lot
not a good way to communicate. I think they need to sit down and have a proper conversation about why maybe she doesn't want to maybe she really just doesn't like the chores.
Maybe, but I mean,
I don't like them. I do them. I don't like them.
But we split the house kind of down the middle. We each have our own
For the most
sections.
part, we do. And that works for us, but that's not going to work for everybody.
No, it doesn't work for everybody.
So they just need to have a conversation about why she's feeling that way or what's going on.
Something,
and he needs to stop barking orders at her.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a conversation that's not in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing there. But yeah, I think he's the asshole.
I think he's the asshole because he needs to speak to her kinder and ask her what's going on rather than just talking at her.
And anonymously asking people.
Yeah. And he doesn't like people's responses, so he keeps editing saying, no, listen, this is me.
Everybody's calling him an asshole, and he's like, no, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. Well, your edits are not helping you. You still sound like an asshole. You're not handling this correctly.
And that's the thing. I can understand being frustrated that your significant other isn't helping to do any chores at all in the house. That would be frustrating. But by barking orders at them and making them cry to get them to do it, that's not going to help, and that's not going to make me want to help anymore. I'd be like, fuck you. If you're going to make me cry and feel like shit, I'm not helping.
Yeah, have a conversation outside of the heat of the moment.
Yeah. Have a conversation.
Get on the same page.
Let both of them talk. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my friend who always has to have a better story?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say you're absolutely not the asshole.
You are not, and more power to you, buddy.
Yep.
I have a friend who has to top every single story he hears. If you got a new dog, his cousin just adopted a wolf. If you rented a cool car on vacation, he spent way more money and rented a Ferrari on his last vacation. If your kid scored a goal at the hockey game, his got a hat trick. It kind of drives me nuts. It can be super inconsequential things too. I mentioned once that I had just tried a new pizza place. He had to say that the pizza in New York City is so much better. It's just that kind of ridiculous. Friday night, we were at a party, and I was talking to a girl who was telling me about her trip to Costa Rica. He got into our conversation and started talking. Asked the girl if I could grab her a drink. I did not want to be in any part of it. When I came back, he was telling her all about our trip there and all the birds and wild animals he saw. He was going on and on and on about everything. I just kept my mouth shut and wished he would go away. When the girl asked me about the trip, I just said it was a good trip and that he had gone there for a friend's wedding. She asked to see any pictures I had. When she looked at them, she started laughing. She said that we had gone to Puerto Rico, not Costa Rica. My friend just kind of dropped his shoulders and went away. I ended up having a great night with her and we might see each other again soon. She told me she thought my buddy was a tool though. I guess he had been telling her about hiking to see the wild toucans, which do not exist in Puerto Rico. My friend came over yesterday and he said I was an asshole for embarrassing him like that. I guess he thinks I should have just lied to her about what country we went to. He constantly lies to women, so I guess he thought I should do it too. Am I the asshole?
Not at all, because it sounds like your friend was a compulsive liar.
It kind of sounds like you need a new friend.
Yeah.
Because that person's a dick.
That person sucks.
I didn't even read the results because...
I don't know if I get the results.
Oh, not like... But I mean, I didn't even go down and see if... Like, I didn't read any comments to see if he... Like, it doesn't matter what the internet says.
Top comment was, you didn't embarrass him, he embarrassed himself. Yeah, that's about...
He wasn't even there to be a part of it, so he didn't even know he was telling her that they had gone there.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, it was a good trip. And I'm impressed that she could tell from pictures that it wasn't Costa Rica, it was Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, no, it sounds like that friend sucks.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's not really cares about the friend anyway, because his friend, people that do that suck.
Yeah.
And I know too many people that do it.
Yes, same.
But they've never wanted me to lie to somebody else for them.
I've had a couple that wanted me to.
Really?
Yeah. And it's always the same thing. It's always to impress a girl. Always.
If you have to impress a girl by lying...
Yeah. That's the worst way to do it.
You're not even... You're not going to get anything out of that.
Am I the asshole for creating a situation where my father-in-law called my wife dumb?
Wait. Your father-in-law called your wife dumb, meaning her father called her dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. And he created the situation.
That's what he said. Am I the asshole for creating a situation where my father-in-law called my wife dumb? There's a lot behind that. I'm going to go with no. You're not the asshole.
All right, I'm going to go with yes.
And it starts out real weird. My wife likes to pretend she is a cowgirl.
Oh, dear God.
Oh. Her dad grew up doing rodeo, but by the time he got married and had her and her sister, he lived in the city. He still participated in rodeo for fun, and his parents had a farm where he kept his horses. He would go out there with her family and work the horses and stuff. She loves horses, but she messed up her knees pretty bad when she was young, so she didn't spend a lot of time in the saddle. We were watching a movie about rodeo, and she mentioned how she used to love watching her dad compete. I have seen her dad's collection of belt buckles from when he was young. By the time I met him, he was a school principal. I've never seen him on a horse in real life. She mentioned that he did all the events we were seeing in the movie. Okay, that's kind of weird. I grew up around people who compete. They usually stick to their one or two events. I don't know any bull riders who also do team roping, for example. I'm sure they exist. I just personally don't know them. I'm not going to argue with her about her father. If she wants to say he competed in every event, it's not worth arguing over. Unfortunately, I'm stupid. I said, you mean he did everything except barrel racing, right? Nope, he was awesome at that too. I told her that barrel racing is not something men do at a rodeo. It's a ladies' event. She started getting upset with me for doubting that her father was the best male barrel racer she had ever seen. I probably should have shut up. I doubled down and showed her a few websites for professional rodeo. She got really upset with me for taking the information on the internet as accurate when she knows what she saw. I just finally agreed with her. She ended up calling her dad to ask him about it. She put him on speakerphone. He said that he competed in 3 events, but barrel racing wasn't one of them since that was for ladies. She said that she remembered him doing it. He said him and his friends might have played around at it for fun, but it was not an event for men. She kept insisting that she had seen him compete. He eventually told her to go look online. She said that I already shown her. Then he said if she was too dumb to know how to understand the internet, had the information, he should get a refund on her education. He may not be a cowboy, but he still kind of talks like one. Now I'm in trouble for her conversation with her dad. She said that if I had just accepted what she had said, her dad would not have belittled her. I did not make her call her dad and ask a dumb question, but apparently I'm the asshole for not believing her. Yeah, he is totally not the asshole.
He's totally not the asshole.
Not even a little bit of the asshole.
I mean, I don't even know if she's really an asshole,
Her
though.
father wants to get his money back for her education because she doesn't know the internet has knowledge. That's my favorite thing so far today.
That's kind of mean.
I'm going to remember that. I'm storing that away in the brain hole.
Don't do that. Hey, stop. Stop. Yell.
Ah!
That didn't work.
Oh.
Yell. Ah. You suck.
Everybody in that conversation doubled down.
Everybody in that conversation doubled down.
Everybody.
I don't really think anybody is an asshole for it.
No,
If she's really like, now she's just butthurt that her dad was
Yeah.
mean to her, so she's taking it out on him.
because she can't take it out on her
But
dad.
she's not really an asshole for it.
No.
It's just kind of a silly, like, oopsie.
It's a whole lot of dumb.
It's a whole lot of silliness. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even say dumb. I mean,
No, it's a whole lot of dumb.
she probably idolized her dad.
She
So
did.
she
Yeah, no,
probably
absolutely.
was thinking, you know, like, oh, and my dad was amazing at everything. It's because she loves her dad so much, and she was like, oh, he's so great. And
He
she
could do all
probably
of it.
did see him. She probably like, you know, he could do anything. He could do all of it. He did all of it. And she probably did remember seeing him messing around with his friends. And she's just like, no, he's just perfect at everything. He's great.
But the boyfriend kind of pigeonholed her on it too. Like, did he do this? So, yeah, I said he does everything. Well, that's a women's only. That's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, that
move.
was kind of a jerk move, but
That's-
not
but
like
everybody-
being an asshole.
Yeah,
It
but
was
that's
just
what I'm
like
saying.
a
Everybody-
yeah.
Everybody
yeah.
doubled down on
Everybody
being a bit of a jerk.
Because he
on
could have
this
just been like, okay, well, that's nice. But then pulling that out, knowing
And he
full
said
well
that.
it's a women's thing. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he knew, like
one. But her being mad at him for
her dad
not
being mean
accepting
to her.
it.
Yeah, you should have just believed me so I didn't
Yeah.
have to get called out on by my dad.
Yeah,
that's
just,
like, come
that's
on,
silly.
man.
Yeah.
But again, I'm
But
going to
yeah,
say
I
no
don't-
one's an asshole.
Yeah, no one's
It's
an
just a
asshole
silly
there.
situation.
Not the asshole, but your wife has a bigger and deeper problem.
I don't even think it's a bigger,
don't think
deeper
it's a
problem.
bigger-
I think she just idolizes her dad.
I think she idolizes her dad and didn't want to look dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once she realized, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, at that point it was too late. And she's like, just doubles down, like, no,
Yeah.
everything's great. Am I the asshole for calling a teacher a bully and making her cry?
Oh, I'm going to go with no.
I'm going to go, should I go with yes? Because
I don't know, it's up to you.
my gut
What do you
is
think?
to say no.
Your guts to say no?
Yeah. Every other weekend for the last few years, my 11-year-old son and some adult family friends perform on a promenade for tips. Promenade? Whatever.
Pomegranate.
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 They perform on a pomegranate for tips. They discovered that if you put a really cute kid, my son, in front of a bunch of boomers and millennial tourists and sing songs from the 90s and 60s like Nirvana or The Doors, then they'll throw money at you. A teacher from my son's school saw him and told him he should perform in the school talent show. My son said no way. It's one thing to perform in front of people you don't know and will never see again than in front of all of your classmates.
Absolutely.
Long story short, the teacher kept badgering him until my son snapped that he didn't want to be a part of her stupid, dumb show. She tried to get him in trouble over his response until I got involved. I told the vice principal and my son's homeroom teacher that my son now feels harassed and unsafe around that teacher. That led to a mediation where the teacher said that she was under a lot of stress putting this show together and there was a lack of talent, and that's why she kept asking my son. I told her she was a bully, and that caught her off guard and she started to tear up, but she apologized, which is all she needed to do. The vice principal and my son's homeroom teacher told me that the comment was out of line. I said that if they won't put her on check, then I will. She started this by pressuring my kid, and all I did was end it. They should be thankful to me because she won't do it again to another student.
I mean, I've been on the receiving end of that teacher that just wants you to do something, thinks it would be great for you, but it doesn't sound like it was coming from a place of trying to help the student. She was trying to help herself, and she was badgering him.
It's one thing if, like, you know that the student is talented and they're just not putting...
Get down.
What was he on?
On the bookshelf over there. He found the big fishes.
Like, if the student wasn't academically, like, doing their best and she was trying to help him, which I think is the situation you were in.
Yeah. It sounds like he had valid excuses, like, performing in front of people that you'll never see again is a lot easier than performing in front of people that you're going to see every day, especially high school kids. Because high school kids can be mean.
100%. I don't think he was high school, though. I think he was 10.
Still, school kids.
Yeah.
Kids
Kids can be mean. And when he's singing music for adults, like millennials and boomers.
Yeah, it's different.
It's totally different.
I think he gave her, a valid enough excuse that she should have realized that it's not like... Don't pressure him anymore.
Yeah, like all he had to say was
like
no. He said no.
No, all he had to say was no. But I mean, if she was trying to push him for like his own benefit or whatever, having the response that he gave means that he put thought into it, at least a little bit of thought, and that absolutely should have been the end of it, if nothing else.
First of all, trying to get him in trouble for saying he didn't want to be in her stupid dumb show. That's bullshit to begin with.
Absolutely.
And then, I don't know if calling her a bully was correct, but I don't think the father should have gotten reprimanded from the vice principal and the homeroom teacher because he said that she was a bully. He's 100% right.
He's protecting his kid.
He's protecting his kid.
Yeah.
His kid doesn't want to deal with her now because every time he sees her, she harasses him.
Yeah.
So he might not be a bully, but she's harassing him. And it's not even because she wants to help him. She wants more talent for her show.
Yeah, she wants to put on a better show.
So she should be told that no means no.
Yeah. He is not the asshole.
He is not the asshole.
Mm.
Oh, I'm excited.
Am I the asshole for asking my husband to use my correct job title? I, 36-year-old female, have been married to my husband, 38-year-old male, for 10 years and have recently had a massive career change. My first degree at university was nursing, but I have been really struggling over the past few years with everything that happened. So I have gone back and done a degree in marine biology.
Holy shit, good for her.
Right? Marine biology has always interested me, and I was so pleased to finally start enjoying my job again. I have started working for a turtle rehabilitation center, and I could not be more fulfilled. The challenge comes in that my husband continuously introduces me as a tour guide in an aquarium. He thinks it is very funny and says it is easier to explain to people. No disrespect to those that work in aquariums, but I worked so hard to go back to school and have a job that I love. I was doing the degree part-time while still working as a nurse, and my husband saw how much I struggled. When I was nursing, my husband never used to do this. I was always introduced as a nurse, but now he just won't get it right. People always look at me with such pity when he says she was a nurse, but now she works at a local aquarium. I have started correcting him when he introduces me to new people, which he says undermines him and makes him look like a fool in front of others.
Oh, fuck him.
I have said he wouldn't look like a fool if he told people what I actually do, but he says he can't remember all the details and the fake job title is funny.
He doesn't have to do anything. He can literally say, my wife is a marine biologist.
Yeah.
And then when people go, oh, really? What do you do? She can then come in and tell them what
Absolutely.
she does.
You can always just, she does biological marine stuff. You ask her, she'll be able to fill you in.
Exactly. Like, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what she does. It's a lot of specific stuff,
Yeah.
and better off having her tell you.
Recently, I refused to go to an event with him unless he promised to introduce me correctly, and he said that I was massively overreacting. I didn't end up going, and my husband was really frustrated, especially when people who knew me at the event asked him why I hadn't gone. I'm at an impasse, but he insists I am the one making a mountain out of a molehill. Am I being an asshole by asking him to use my actual job title? Am I overreacting to a joke? Edit, to add as I've seen the question asked a few times, my husband is an engineer. No, you're not being an asshole at all. He is. Even if he's trying to be funny, no, he's crossing a boundary.
If it makes her uncomfortable,
Stop.
Yeah. Like, it could be funny.
It could be funny,
Like,
but it's not. It's
if,
apparently...
If it was a situation and, like, you did something like that to me, I'd be like, haha, yeah. Like, you would make it funny. But if you knew that it hurt my feelings and it bothered me, first of all, she shouldn't care what other people think. If she's like, people look at me with pity because I was a nurse and then a tour guide, that shouldn't matter. But she worked really hard to become a marine biologist. He should be over the moon happy that not only is his wife finally not as stressed and loves her job, he should be singing from the rooftops that she's a marine biologist and that she finally went back to school and did something for herself.
Yeah.
He is an asshole.
I wonder if there isn't, because if he's an engineer, I wonder if there's a little bit of,
It's the toxic masculinity thing where it's like he needs to feel superior.
Top comment, introduce him as your roommate until he learns to respect you.
That's beautiful.
I mean, I don't know where their situation is, but engineer and a marine biologist, I feel like there's got to be an imbalance there, and he's feeling insecure about it. It would be my guess. So he's trying to knock her down a peg by trying to use humor, and it's not working.
Or he just thinks he's being funny. I mean, he really could just be that dumb and thinks he's being funny. But regardless, if you're hurting the person you love, if you're hurting their feelings, it's not funny.
That person's feelings are more important than a bunch of random people laughing for a second.
And it doesn't even sound like a bunch of people are laughing. They look confused because he says it and then she comes in saying, no, actually I'm a marine biologist. And then he feels like an idiot.
Yeah.
He's the only one making himself feel like an idiot.
She's not an asshole. He's an asshole.
100%.
120%.
He's a jerk.
Fuck that guy.
Seriously, that's not cool. Am I the asshole for complaining to the manager about a waitress that was mistreating me and making her pay for my dinner?
No.
So I've worked in service, and I'm going to say I've never had to pay for someone's meal. I'm very curious how they felt that the waitress was mistreating them.
I'm very curious to see what was so bad that a manager would make a waitress pay for a customer's meal.
Rather than the manager not just comping it.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of leaning towards...
Yeah. And if it was so bad that the manager made the waitress pay for the meal, that waitress better not be working there anymore. I, 19-year-old female, went to a restaurant with my date, male 32. We chose a quiet, expensive restaurant, which think it's important for your judgment. So it's quiet and expensive. We got seated, and then we got assigned a waitress to serve us through the night. The issue is that me and her know each other, so she was very rude towards me. I'll tell you what happened between us. Basically, some dumb drama. I was dating a new guy, male 27. He never mentioned he was dating someone else, and didn't post on social media or something with a partner. His friends and family that I got to know never told me anything about another woman. We dated 6 months. At that time, some girl came to his apartment while I was staying there and started yelling at him, calling him a filthy cheater, that kind of stuff. She also yelled at me a lot of insults because she was confused and thought I knew that he had a girlfriend. I assured her that I did not know it and also got angry at my boyfriend. I broke it off with him on the spot. Apparently, they had been dating for over a year at the time. I blocked his number and haven't heard from him ever since. Back to the dinner now. I tried to change the waitress because I knew it was probably going to be an awkward situation for the both of us, but the place was too crowded and it wasn't possible. She served me harshly and would roll her eyes when I asked for anything. That I could handle, but then she joked to my date to be careful of me because I like to jump on people's boyfriend's dick. That was super inappropriate.
That was super inappropriate.
My date and I both complained about her to the management, and they said sorry for her behavior and made her pay for our dinner. We finished and our bill came. It was nearly 1 million won.
I don't know. It's Chinese.
It's Chinese. Yeah. So this makes more sense why the typos. Because I'm like, it was really $1 million, and then it says won. And I'm like, okay. We, of course, didn't pay because the manager told us it was on the house for the way his waitress treated us, and so we left. So she didn't have to pay. It was on the house. Yeah. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for this girl because our bill was a lot of money, probably half of what she makes there, although I'm not sure about that. Everyone tells me that I didn't do anything bad and that actions have consequences, so she should have thought about what she said before disrespecting me and my date. I still feel kind of bad. First of all, this woman's amazing.
Yes.
Because the fact that that woman was so rude to her and she still feels bad for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She totally took the higher ground.
Yeah, the waitress really needs to step it up. That's fucked up.
I can understand feeling hurt and devastated.
Absolutely.
And I can understand not wanting to see her again, but you're at your job.
Yeah, you can't.
You literally are a customer service job.
You need to serve that customer even if you don't like them.
You don't warn her date that she likes to jump on other people's boyfriend's dick.
Yeah, that's not a thing you say.
She shouldn't have a job there.
No.
Anymore. And they 100% deserve to have their meal comped, regardless of how much it was.
Absolutely.
Should the waitress have had to pay? I don't know. I don't know if they can force you to do that. But
I mean, if they do, that's not an accident.
No, that wasn't like an oopsie. That's
not, silly me. No. And they might have requested, if they requested a different waitress and the waitress requested a different waitress.
Yeah.
They should have gotten a different waitress. And the excuse that they were really busy, no, that should have, the manager should have handled that a little bit.
True, but whoever in a million years would have thought that something like that would have happened?
Yeah.
You have to deal with people you don't like all the time in the service field. Yeah. It happens. You have to just grin and bear it because that's your job. You don't have to be overly friendly and overly whatever, but you have to be a decent person when that's your job.
She requested a different waitress.
She did. You're right.
She requested a different waitress. That doesn't excuse anything. Yeah, no, she's definitely not the asshole. The waitress definitely needs to get her shit together. Definitely.
Obviously, everything says she's not the asshole because...
She's not.
Like I said, she's a fantastic human being because still feeling guilty.
1 million won to American dollars.
It's $771.69.
That's a really expensive meal.
That's a really expensive. But she did say that it was a quiet and expensive restaurant. So
quiet and expensive, yes.
Yeah. So.
But still, I don't know that I would spend $800 on a meal. It better be a good freaking meal. And if I'm spending $800 on a meal, I better not have the waitress telling my date that I'm sitting on someone's dick.
They're eating at a place where the meal costs, almost $800 for the two of them.
Yeah.
Any waitress that's employed there shouldn't be mentioning anybody's dicks to anybody.
Any waitress there shouldn't be saying anything but, can I help you? Can I serve you something else? Can I fill your water? Can I fill your drink?
Yeah. Bend over backwards.
And I guarantee you, I was going to say I can guarantee you that she makes good money, but it's in China and I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know because I know tipping isn't a normal thing in other countries.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, you're going to make bank on a tip. places like
that's an
in the
American
U.S.
thing. With it being one, it might not. But
Yeah, I don't
even
know how that
so,
works.
I mean, if your pay is not being based on tips,
Then you have to be making good money to work there, right?
yeah. So
You would think.
stop being a jerk.
I think that the manager should comp the meal, and I think the waitress should be fired.
Yes.
Yeah. And the waitress should find a new job of not in the service industry. She might be wonderful.
Because the girl even said that she didn't know that the guy had a girlfriend.
She had no idea.
Nobody mentioned it.
She even said that his family didn't mention it.
Completely.
And as soon as she found out, she dumped him on the spot.
Exactly.
So obviously, if she had known,
Totally not the
it would have been done. But I'm going to say this, even because now I'm fired up.
Say it.
Even if she did know that he had another girlfriend,
You still don't say that.
And she still stayed with him.
Yeah.
And then they broke up and they never saw each other again. You still don't have any right to say something like that to someone if you are their waitress.
Nope.
Really, you don't have a right to say that to someone,
Anyone.
period.
Yeah.
Definitely not if they're at your restaurant eating dinner.
Professionalism.
You cannot do that. So even if she had known and they had a big blowout fight between the two of them fighting over this stupid guy, who wouldn't be worth it, by the way, she still had no right to say that.
Agreed.
In no circumstances would it have made it all right for that woman to have said that.
Am I the asshole for taking candy from a diabetic?
No.
Nope. My mom is diabetic, but she only seems to care about her diabetes when it is convenient, and she doesn't seem to be well educated. Her neglecting to follow a diabetic diet has led her to being on 2 different insulins, and her pharmacist says they're very high dose for the once a day, and she takes a short acting one at mealtimes. She has a monitor in her arm because she claims she can't remember to check her blood sugar. We live together because of her disabilities, making it difficult for her to live alone. My friend got me chocolate for Valentine's Day, and I've been busy with work, so I haven't had a chance to sit and eat it. I wanted to enjoy it, not squeeze it in before I go to bed when I'm exhausted. I was in the kitchen the other day and noticed the bag is open. I asked my mom about it, and she said she had an episode of low blood sugar where it was in the 50s and that was the only thing she could eat. I have orange juice in the fridge, cans of soda, Rice Krispie treats, fruit snacks, etc. I pointed this out when she said that, and she said it was too early in the morning for her to think clearly. It was approximately 2 a.m. when she ate it. Today, I packed my chocolate into my lunchbox and took it to work with me so I could be sure I would get to eat at least some of it. My mom texted me upset that she went to get the candy and it wasn't there. I told her it was my candy and she had plenty of options if her blood sugar dropped. She called me selfish. I don't think I'm being an ass because the candy was a gift and I wanted it. She thinks I'm being unfair by not sharing, especially knowing she has low blood sugar issues. You're not the asshole at all.
Not the asshole at all. Her mom wanted candy and was mad that
your mom sucks.
She wasn't giving her an excuse to be able to give candy.
Yeah.
You know she's been eyeing that candy up.
Yeah, and she crossed some borders because it wasn't her candy, and it wasn't like she went out and bought some candy. Like, it was given to her from somebody else.
Yeah.
And her mom just decided to help herself to it.
I mean, okay, at 2 a.m., has a blood, whatever. If it's sitting on the counter and she needs something, that's one thing.
Chocolate doesn't really do much for diabetes,
Well,
though.
see, I don't know about that. But let's just say that...
The orange juice would have been a better...
The orange juice would have been a better pick.
Yeah.
She just wanted the candy and was mad that her daughter took it away.
And then, whenever... Yeah, exactly. She took it to work, and then she gets a hold of her and like, you're a jerk. No, that's her candy.
Like, you have all that other stuff you can eat if your blood sugar is low. Have the Rice Krispies sitting on the counter. So if you haven't... Yeah, no. Mom's the asshole.
There's one comment saying about when the blood sugar drops that low, your brain tends to start to shut down too, and you don't think very clearly, if at all.
That could be true.
It can cause bad brain fog or even memory loss, but still not the asshole. If her mom has a sensor on her arm, the default low number that will trigger the alarm is 50, but you can go into the app on your phone and set it higher.
Well, and not to mention...
She doesn't seem to care.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, yes, it could mess with her brain. It could mess with her, when she needed it.
But she's putting no effort into...
What did she eat when it would get really low before the candy was sitting on the counter?
Yeah.
It's not like this is the first time she's ever had candy in the house right there or something to eat. Like, not the first episode she's ever had.
She touched candy that
I'm going to give the candy that wasn't hers. I'm going to give her a pass. Okay, you just grabbed the first thing you could think of to get your sugar up high. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
then you're being
don't get mad that the candy's gone because then you got a taste of it and you wanted more. If you want candy that bad, go out and buy yourself some candy.
Yep, she's not the asshole. Her mom's the asshole.
No, not the asshole at all. She wanted to make sure she got some candy.
Is the asshole.
It's her candy.
Yeah.
And her mom shouldn't be eating that shit anyway.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for yelling at my brother, asking him to have some fucking empathy towards me?
No, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no as well.
I feel like we've had a lot of no, you're not the assholes today.
I know.
Yeah.
My life hasn't been going that great recently. I left my husband 2 months ago, and I've been miserable since. I left him because I had a crush on another man, and that made me question our entire relationship and myself too. I started dating my husband when I was 17 years old, and I fell in love with his kindness. He was my first boyfriend ever, and he showed me care I'd never received from a man before. Long story short, I've left him after almost 10 years of being together because I started questioning why I'd fallen in love with him. I had an emotionally abusive father growing up, and I never went to therapy and never tried to process it. I just tucked it away and got married to a man who was the complete opposite of my dad and a people pleaser. Upon leaving my husband, I moved back in with my mother. My father is now dead. And my little brother, and now I hate my life and miss my husband terribly. I have to commute 3 hours a day to work, and my mother and brother are much more difficult roommates than my husband ever was. My brother especially is frustrated by my presence and constantly picks fights. Yesterday, he was yelling at me through the door about taking too long in the bathroom, and I told him to calm down and don't be such an asshole. He asked when I will finally move out because I'm always in the way, and told him I was an idiot for leaving my husband. Told me I was an idiot for leaving my husband, and I should go and beg him to take me back. But he probably won't because I'm impossible to live with. I snapped, and I yelled at him, asking him to have some fucking empathy for me. I'm going through a hard time, and I really don't need him to be such an asshole to me. He replied that it's not his problem. I created this situation for myself, and it's not fair that he has to suffer the consequences of my actions too, and I don't deserve his empathy.
Sounds like little brother picked up some notes from his father.
He is right that it's all my fault. I created this situation. I only have myself to blame. Am I the asshole for yelling at him?
No.
Edit for info. Do we want to do the edit before, or do we
No.
want to make our judgment first?
I don't think she's the asshole for yelling at her brother. Her brother was kind of a dick too. I mean, it's a stressful situation. They had the routine.
I want to know how old he is.
Yeah, well, let's figure she's 27-ish.
If he's in his 20s,
Yeah.
then he needs to grow up.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, but no, he's. You put yourself in this situation. You need to crawl back to your husband and beg him to take you back. No, that's not.
And she
no.
does miss her husband. And I think that she might have done the right thing, though, if you're really not sure, like
Yeah.
if she started questioning.
Absolutely.
But if she misses her husband, maybe she can go back and try to reconcile, and
But that's not.
they can go to, couples therapy. But her brother has no say in any of that, and he should keep his mouth shut.
And that's not the situation where you discuss it.
No.
No, that's just no.
Sorry for inconveniencing you because she's using the bathroom and you don't have it all to yourself anymore.
Yeah,
like
he's being a
she's
dick.
your sister. Just
Suck it up, man. Okay, edits.
edit for info.
Edit for info.
My brother is 22 years old, and his problem is basically just me being there. Not that I'm messy or loud, just that I'm present. He likes to send our mother away for the night to her boyfriend's house when he wants to have company over, and it really bothers him that he can't really send me away like that also. Also, I didn't leave my husband for the other guy. I stopped talking to the other man as soon as I realized I was starting to have feelings. More info can be found in my comments about this.
Yeah, it sounds like the brother needs to grow the fuck up. He took one too many notes from the abusive father. He wants the mom around to clean up and cook for him and everything else, but then whenever he wants her out of the way when he wants to do other things. Now the sister's in the road and fucking up his
He's a
control
piece of
scheme.
shit that he
Yeah,
sends his mom away. He needs to man up and get himself his own apartment.
something, yeah.
So the first comment is that she's an asshole.
Oh,
I made my own life miserable by leaving a good situation. Now I'm mad at people. Point it out to me even though I'm doing nothing to fix it. You are the asshole.
no.
I was one of the first comments, so this was made before any edits or any comments were made by Op. So they're changing their stance then.
Okay. That's a bad take.
Op hasn't given enough info for us to know whether or not she left a quote-unquote good situation. Also, she takes complete responsibility for her decision throughout the post. She's clearly feeling very down about herself, and people here are just mean.
Yes. And it doesn't matter whether it was a good situation or not that she left. She needed to do it for herself.
She needed to do it for herself. She didn't even, not that it matters, but she didn't even get with the man that she had a crush on. She realized, wait, I'm in a situation where I'm married and I might be having feelings for someone else. It's not fair to my husband.
She stepped back from both.
She stepped back from both to reassess and figure out what's going on with her.
Absolutely. She's taken, she got married really young at 17.
Yeah.
And now she's taken whoa, wait, hold on.
And he was her very first boyfriend, which doesn't matter, but
she's taking a step back.
She's taking a step back and really figuring out who she is and what she wants. And if she chooses to go back with her husband and he feels okay to take her back, I think that's great. But I don't think she's an asshole at all. I think she was being a decent human being.
Yeah.
And I think her brother's a dick.
Am I the asshole for lying, in quotes, to my wife about my identity?
Yes.
I'm going to say no. I want to see where this goes.
Okay.
25 male. I have always had a feminine baby face. It's not to the point where I get mistaken for a woman when I go out or anything, but enough to where people have commented on it in the past. If I tried to look like a girl, I think I could easily pass for one. It's also been a running joke between my best friend, 28 male, and I for him to give me feminine-leaning nicknames. These can range from something subtle, sweetheart, pretty boy, beautiful, or something much more blatant, dream girl, which seems like the same, is probably the most obvious one I can think of. I think it's kind of cute. When he does it when we're out and addresses me that way to other people, the humiliation of it is fun. It's no big deal. He's done this around my fiancée, 23-year-old female, from the first time they met, just like he does it around almost everyone. She asked me if I was struggling with my identity a few months into our engagement. I asked what she was talking about, and she pointed out the nicknames and that I might feel more comfortable opening up to a longtime friend than her about something so serious. I really didn't want to go into some long conversation when I said no, and then I just had to explain the nicknames, so I just said, yeah. What? I really didn't want to go into some long conversation.
He didn't want to go into a long conversation about how it's just nicknames and they make it funny, so he told her, yes, he's struggling.
Oh. It wasn't a total lie considering I don't really care how people perceive me. I still prefer he, him pronouns, but it's not all that important to me. I told her I was just living life and identity didn't really matter to me, but I had opened up to my friend about some things. That conversation occurred last month, and last night she asked me if I was comfortable talking to her about my transition yet. I was visibly confused, and she claimed I had told her I was really confused about my gender identity, something I never said. I laughed it off, but she won't drop it and is now claiming I've been lying to her about a super serious topic. Am I the asshole? No, he's not the asshole.
There was a miscommunication.
There was absolutely a miscommunication, and she's like doubling down on it.
I don't know if she's even doubling down. She really believes that he told her that he's having like an identity crisis.
Because I always refer to all my guy friends as girly nicknames. Because I used to refer to Sean as Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of blew it off so he wouldn't have to get into a conversation about it. And she took
that as he was very concerned. And yeah, no, it was just a miscommunication. I don't feel like he lied on purpose. And I don't feel like she's doing anything wrong either. She really believed what she just took it the wrong way.
This is a valid point, though. You are the asshole, but not in an extreme sense. You took the time to explain it to us. The same energy could have been used to explain it to her, the person you're engaged to. It wasn't hard to understand either. I get it if you don't feel like having a long conversation about it, but you made it really vague and unintentionally, I'm assuming, gave too much space for misinterpretation, creating a situation where a long talk is necessary. Just be straightforward from the jump. That's true.
No, that's 100% true.
That is true.
So I guess sometimes when you do the asshole thing, it's like you're a definite asshole or you're not. And I don't think he intentionally was trying to be an asshole, but he was.
Yeah.
Like if he would have just, and they're 100% right.
I don't think he was an asshole, but...
No, but he definitely could have gotten around this by just explaining, no, we just have funny nicknames for each other.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to explain.
It really isn't. I don't think he's an asshole, but I think that...
No, but he's in the wrong.
He could have fixed it way easier than that.
Me one more and then we're done?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to find a good one.
Get a really good, the best one.
No, but I want to do this one.
Okay, do that one.
Because it's us. Am I the asshole if I ask my boyfriend to leave the house once in a while?
I'm going to go with yes.
I'm going to go with no.
Of course you are.
My 23 female, boyfriend, 23 male, and I live in an apartment together. Recently, I have been feeling like I never get any alone time. I travel for work maybe every 2 months, and will go hang with friends for a couple hours every so often. My boyfriend has time to relax and have the house to himself. He, however, never leaves. All in caps, never. He doesn't go out to do anything or hang out with anyone. The most time I get to myself is the 45 minutes between when I get home from work and when he gets home. I'm starting to lose my mind. I really just want some time to relax in my own home instead of having to drive to a coffee shop or something like that, just so I can watch a TV show that he doesn't like. I casually mentioned that maybe he goes and does something this weekend, and he got upset with me and said this is his house too, and I can't make him leave. I agree with him about that. I just want to know if I'm the asshole for asking him to start with.
No.
Okay, so this isn't our situation.
Not at all, no.
But
she's not the asshole.
She's not the asshole. They need to find some kind of common ground, though, because she should be able to watch a television show that he doesn't like.
How big is the apartment?
I don't know.
Because if it's a really small apartment, they might not be able to get away from each other too much in the apartment.
I don't think that it's mean then to ask him to just go do something.
No. Maybe, I mean, if you ask me, like, hey, can you just go somewhere and just do something and get out of my hair? Like, how did she ask him?
But if I asked that, would you be upset?
No, I don't have hair.
No, because you're out of my hair.
Oh. No.
Like, if I looked at you and said, look, I just need some me time. get out of my hair, leave me alone.
No, I don't.
No,
think
I wouldn't
So.
say it like that. I don't see a problem with her needing.
No, not at all.
Like, I need me time.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a house. We both like to spend time together, but sometimes
Mhm.
we just like to do our own thing. But if you're in a little apartment,
It's hard to get away from the other.
it's hard to get away from another person. So if he could just like go get a coffee somewhere or
Something,
go
yeah.
visit someone, or I was going to say she could get a hotel room, but if she wants to be at home.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So be like, look, just
Go.
fuck off for a couple
Go
minutes.
outside.
Like, go fuck off for an hour.
Go make a
Let
friend.
me.
Something.
Yeah. I don't think she's in the wrong at all.
No. No, I don't think she's.
People need their downtime. They need
Yeah.
their alone time. And
Yeah.
again, it's kind of not fair, like, to be like, well, you have to leave because, you know, she has 45 minutes until he gets home. I think if she asked kindly, I think he should.
Again, they need to have
It's
a
not like
conversation.
all the time. They need to just have a conversation where she's like, look, I really just need some me time. I'm not doing well.
Maybe I mean it might not even mean that she's not doing well. She just needs some.
Well, I mean, not
Yeah.
doing well, like emotionally. She just needs time to herself.
Yeah, no, not the asshole.
I don't think she's an asshole.
Not the asshole.
I can't read the comments because I don't know your passcode.
You should. I've told you.
I
You don't remember
know.
passcode.
I'm terrible at passwords.
Nah, you're not the asshole for asking, and he's not really the asshole for wanting to be at home. I mean,
No, he's definitely not.
you both seem to have different needs around space. Is a larger apartment an option? If that, no,
That's a great suggestion.
it's not so much about the size of the apartment, just that I want to be able to listen to my own music, watch my own shows, not have to talk to anyone for a while. We only have one TV, so it's each sit in the living room or hide out in the bedroom. So yeah,
Okay, so it's a very tiny
it's
apartment.
a small apartment. They need more room.
So yeah, I think he's not an asshole for not wanting to leave,
No.
but he should take into consideration her feelings and realize that if she needs some time to herself, he should try to be as respectful to it as he can. Whether he goes and sits in the bedroom and like has headphones on and lets her listen to her music or watches her television show or something. They need to figure out something that she has some time to herself.
They need to have a conversation.
They need to have a conversation.
Yep. Yep.
That wasn't a really good one. I'm sorry.
That wasn't really. I'll let it slide this
But-
once. Are you the asshole for picking a shitty? Am I the asshole to end it?
I am not, no.
Okay.
Because you don't know in advance what the question's going to be.
That's true. You know, we had a couple good ones in there. So that was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Reddit.
Thank you, Reddit. Thank you, Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo's been roaming around for the past like 5-10 minutes. Just roaming like she does.
Just
What are you
roaming.
guys doing in my bedroom?
Yeah, she's confused. Oh, and it is 2:50. So she's like, I should be getting fed soon.
Squeak. Squeak. Oh. She squeaked when I picked her up, but that
She
was
did. She's such a jerk face.
jerk face.
You're cute.
Everybody wants to hear all of the important things you have to say. Nobody wants to hear that. Boop. You're going to bite, aren't you?
She was going to bite. All right.
All right.
We.
Are the assholes.
Sure.
Yay.
We're the assholes.
Yay. No, the kitties. Hi, Bubs. The kitties are the assholes.
Kitties are the assholes. I need to go upstairs and start prepping dinner.
What is dinner?
We're having Swedish meatballs tonight.
Nice.
I thought you'd like that.
I'm going to eat the shit out of those.
So I need to put them in the crock pot.
Yeah.
We're going to go upstairs. I have to put food in the crock pot, and then I'm going to lay back down on the couch.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
Maybe take a little nappy nap.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're
yet.
probably going to go upstairs and stream.
I don't know. I just checked. Nobody's on, so I haven't decided.
I have a bunch of text messages I have to look at.
Yeah. They're not for me, so they're not important.
That's true.
All
All right.
right. Thank you, everybody,
Thanks
for
for
stopping
listening. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Thursday.
in. Yep.
Maybe I'll come up with a better plan, or he'll let me eat snacks.
But don't hold your breath on either.
Fine. Bye.
Bye.